Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.
Yeah, man, she coming there, barking orders, screaming at everybody, pointing at this person, that person. And, you know, everybody, you can see dudes nervous. You can, you know, I can look around and tell the dudes probably was, you know, dirty, had something on them or whatever, but was trying to get rid of it, trying to drop it down beside them or, you know, kick it out the way or whatnot. But, man, she was on everything, man. So I just started doing, you know, my own thing. Started taking off my clothes. They strip you down to your underwear because they got some females to be in there, which she was. But they strip you down to your underwear. Then they got these old clowns that come around and try to pet all up under your underwear and everything. Make sure you ain't got nothing in your underwear. If they think you got something, they take you over there to the shower until you pull your underwears off. You know what I'm saying? Squat and cough and do whatever. But it was crazy, man. So I'm getting undressed and everything. So she walking around, you know, looking in everybody's faces, acting like she a tough girl. When she get around over to me, she stand right in front of me and she asked me what's my name. So when I tell her my name, she was like, I know who you are. Now in my mind, I wanted to say, yeah, I know who you are too. But I ain't say that because I wasn't looking for no trouble. I wasn't looking for no smoke whatsoever. But she was just eyeballing me and everything, said she knew who I was or whatever, which I knew anyway because, you know, Redmond had already told me. So we go on through that and everything. I think they locked up a couple of dudes, you know, because if you challenge her authority or say anything, you know, hey, lock them up. Just put the cuffs on them, lock them up. You know, so she was taking people up out of there left and right because that's how she was. Like I say, she was on a power trip. She felt like she had something to prove. She knew that people that been on that institution and probably heard about her sister, so she let it be known she not her sister. She all business. She strictly business. It ain't even no need to try to, you know, get at her. Which, or I should say, ironically enough, you know, it was already rumors around the institution that, you know, that she had, you know, already had relations with a lot of the big wigs in the administration, was how she got her position, allegedly, you know. But that's what the rumor was. But like I say, I don't take nothing from her. She was a good-looking woman. I'm quite sure a lot of the officers wanted to get with her. But she ran the joint with an iron fist, man. She wasn't doing no joking. She wasn't doing no playing. She ain't had not one smile on her face for no inmate, you know. And that's how a lot of them are. They gonna treat you like you know, subhuman. But then when you see them talking to an officer, they smiling and cheesing and kikiing and ha-haing. But when they talk to you, they got the stern face and they hollering, they yelling, they talking all aggressive. But as soon as you meet their energy, as soon as you start talking that way back to them, oh, take him to jail, lock him up. Oh, I feel threatened. Oh, yeah, you know, intimidating the officer. All of that. So these are things you got to deal with when you in that type of atmosphere, man. And like I said, a lot of these young dudes, they didn't understand that already. So they'll cuss out, you know, straight to jail. They'll say something about how she look, you know, or you looking good today, straight to jail, fraternizing with an officer. That's how they was carrying it, man. So it was crazy. But like I say, I try to stay in my zone. I try to just work out because I knew in my mind that I wasn't going to be there long. So I just try to work out, get back in good shape, you know, try to get my mind focused, try to get, you know, you got to try to get in a zone. You got to try to get in a comfortable space when you're on a new institution. But at the same time, you got to watch all this foolishness around you because like I say, I'm in a new environment. A lot of these young cats don't know who I am. They may look at me and just think, you know, he just another dude or he an older dude or whatever the case may be. And they may want to try you, you know. So I ain't to be tried, you know. All of that, I ain't to be tried. So I'm ready. I got to stay ready. Yeah, did I have the security of Bethlehem? Absolutely. You know, because like I say, you rather get caught with it than without it. Now, I don't want to get caught with it. I definitely don't want to get caught with it on this institution. But like I say, where there's a will, there's always a way. You know, and you got these younger dudes, like I say, if you get cool with them, you can get one to tell them to hold it. You know, you can give them a couple of dollars or something, they'll hold it. Whereas if you need it, boom, 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 they right there, Johnny on the spot, they'll give it to you. Hopefully you don't need it, you know, but that'd be money well spent because like I say, you might need it and don't have it. So, you know, like I say, I was on there probably, man, a couple of weeks, man, and next thing you know, I get called over to the administration again. So I can only imagine what this gonna be about. But when I get over there, I'm thinking I'm going to see Redmond again, but I'm going to see the warden. I'm going to see this dude that supposedly detests me and don't like me and said that he didn't feel comfortable when I was on the institution years ago. So they call me in there, they tell me I'm going to go over there to see the warden. I sit in the waiting room, I'm waiting about 20, 30 minutes. Then they call me in there. When I go in there, I already can see the play. I already know he's nervous because he got a officer in there with a massage, right? So normally when you go and you in the administration building and you up in that setting right there, you know, that's the most secure place. So you go see the warden, you go sit down there and talk to the warden face to face in his office, if ever you could get over there. So when I'm in there with him and he got him, I already know that he's nervous. So as soon as I walk in there, he already got a mean attitude, nasty attitude, looking at me with disgust. You know, he says, sit down. He don't even say, sit down. So, you know, I already know what it is, so I know to play my position. I go ahead on and sit down. And when I sat down, he said, boom, boom, boom. He just looking at his computer for about 5 minutes. Don't say nothing. I'm just sitting here looking around. I see the sergeant, he looking at me. I'm just eyeballing the office, seeing what's going on. And then when he finally started to speak, he was like, you remember me? I said, of course. You know, he said, yeah, well, I definitely remember you too. And I'm telling you right now up front, I don't want you on my institution. Don't get comfortable. You will not be here long. I do not know why they sent you up here, but I don't want you here. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He said, I'm looking at your record right now. I'm looking at, you know, what you did since you left here. And I don't know who you fooling, but you ain't fooling me. He said, I know who you are. I remember when you first came in. I remember all the ruckus you caused on this institution. And I don't think you changed at all. So you might be fooling them, but you ain't fooling me. I want you to know I've informed my officers to keep their eye on you. If you so much as sneeze hard, I will put you in segregation. Do I make myself clear? I said, crystal clear. He said, I said, man, I said crystal clear. He said, you getting smart? He trying to antagonize me. I said, crystal clear, sir. He said, all right, get him up out of here. So dudes, I stand up. I just walk on out. Now I'm biting all of this and holding all this in because I understand that I ain't got no wins. It ain't nothing I can do. This man is the warden on the institution. It ain't nothing I can do. I know he a racist. I know he biased. I know he don't like me. I ain't did nothing since I came back on here. Irregardless of what you thought happened years ago, it has no bearing on what I'm doing in my bit right now, how I'm doing my time, and what I've done on this institution. I ain't did nothing, you know. So I had to take the bitter with the sweet, the cricket with the straights. So I just get up, bite that, go on back. I'm a little irritated and frustrated, but I know it ain't nothing I can do about it. When the officer even walking me out, he's saying, yeah, man, he don't like you. I said, man, I ain't tripping. I ain't even tripping, you know. But in my mind, I'm saying, I like him even less, you know. But he sent me on back to my building, man. I go back. I was telling my little celly, Dread, man, I said, yeah, man, I don't even know how long I'm going to be here, bro, but I ain't going to be here that much longer. And sure enough, the next day, they come move me, tell me pack up my stuff. I'm thinking I'm getting transferred already. I'm like, okay, hallelujah. They telling me they moving me all the way down to A and B building, where they then came up now where they got this like honor blocks and honor pods and stuff like that. They telling me they putting me in there. So I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to the honor pod, the honor block, but all the time, this is what I told y'all, these is the blocks that they watch. And they ain't got to watch it too hard because most of the people in the block will tell on you themselves to make sure they stay in this comfortable place where they ain't down here in the jungle. So if you doing anything wrong or anything out of the ordinary that feels like it might jeopardize the block getting in trouble or whatever, oh yeah, they gonna tell the people. They gonna, oh yeah, he down here, So that was more or less them putting me down there just so they can keep an eye on me till they could decide what they was gonna do with me. So when they put me down there, they put me in the cell by myself. So I'm cool with that. I'm in the cell by myself. But like I say, they strict down there. They got more rules, more regulations. I'm in the cell by myself. I'm good. I come out in the block. I try to survey, see if I see anybody I know. I ended up seeing like one dude I knew. I think it was Gordon Kitchen. He was up in there. He used to be on Mecklenburg with me. So he was in there trying to get transferred, trying to get up over there. That's why he was in the honor block. I see maybe one other dude I knew, but I didn't really know him. Dude named Ice. He used to play ball a lot. I had been on institution with him, but I ain't really know him. I just knew him in passing or whatnot. So I just got in the comfort zone in there, man. I just started playing chess. It was a couple of dudes in there that like to play chess. I like chess. I started playing chess with a couple of dudes, in the block. Other than that, I was working out. When you got a single cell by yourself, you could work out even more because you could work out in your cell and you ain't had to worry about your cell partner being in the way. You ain't had to worry about how the cell was, whether you was taking up his space or whatnot, because you got this little room. So I was taking full advantage of that before they mess around and threw somebody in my cell. So yeah, I got in my zone, man. I stayed out of the way. Seemed like every officer in there knew who I was. I remember Redmond's brother, who was now a sergeant, he come around there. He come around there with another CO and called me to the door, want to talk to me. He said, "Yeah, this the one right here they was talking about. Man, yeah, I heard you was terrible back in the day, man. They said you had this compound on fire, man. Said you was just wilding out." I said, "Man, I wasn't doing all of that, man." He said, "Man, that ain't what they say." He said, "Man, they been talking about you since you been here." So I already know that my name is circulating and they just wait for me to do anything out of the ordinary, which was out of the question. The only way I was going to do anything is somebody try to, attack me or do something to me, which I really ain't see it happening. Now, when I went out on the yard, I seen dudes out there. Dudes was rumbling. I done seen the Bethlehem play out there already. I seen two dudes on the basketball court. They get to arguing about something. Dude go over to the side, pick his little coat up, pull the joint out his coat, and start chasing him around the yard. They ended up shutting the yard down, coming out there, getting him. He ain't catch the dude or whatnot. But, they was getting it in up there. Dudes was setting their tone for how they was going to do their bit. You know what I'm saying? So I can see all of this, but at the same time, I ain't in the midst of none of it because I ain't trying to make no new friends. I ain't talking to nobody who I don't really know. When I get out on the yard, I see a couple of more people that I knew. A lot of people, as a matter of fact, but they was in transition too. They weren't trying to be up there. They trying to get from up over there too. They had got sent all the way up there for whatever reasons, So like I say, I chopped it up with a few dudes, but more or less, I stayed to myself and tried to get up off of there, man, because I ain't want to be there no more than they wanted me to be there, When I was in the block, like I say, I played chess, mind my business, and even next door, they had rumbling going on next door because next door was supposed to be the honor block as well. It was like this was the lower honor pod. The one I was in was the higher. If you were in this pod, you could graduate and come to this pod. The closer you get to the honor pod and the longer you stay in the honor pod without charges, they'll put you in for a transfer, which mostly everybody wanted to do because ain't nobody want to be way up there in the mountains. Your people got to drive 4-5 hours to come see you, all of that. It was an inconvenience for everybody to be up there. And then, like I say, you still going to be dealing with the racism, the foolishness, all of the craziness to go on up there. Like I said, they kicking doors in, they strip searching you at will. They pulling you over on the boulevard, locking you up for your dress, the way you dress, or patting you down, checking you if you got coats on. They was on some whole Gestapo stuff up there now, opposed to when I was there years ago. So it was just a completely different atmosphere, man, and I ain't want no more parts of it, Like I said, the officers, most of them knew who I was. Some of them tried to be cordial to me. Some of them tried to be cool to me. You know what I'm saying? I met like a white dude who was there a long time ago when I was there, and And I remember him, he won't never a bad dude or nothing like that. He come talk to me every now and then, tell me, man, if you need something, let me know. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got this, you ain't got that, just tell the officer to let me know. Because he worked on one of the shifts that in the block that I was in. So he was cool. I ended up, like I said, I had already had my property by then. So when you got your property, then you basically got everything you need. I basically didn't even really have to come out the cell. But I came out of the cell because I wanted to see what was going on in the block around me. You know what I'm saying? But when I went out on that yard, that's when I seen most of the confusion, most of the larceny that was going on. Dudes was still gambling. Dudes was still doing what they wanted to do, but they was doing it, you know, knowing that these people is down on them and basically somebody gonna tell on them. It's just a matter of time. But when you in prison, you ain't thinking about that. Only thing you thinking about is trying to survive and get the things you need. And if it's risk involved, then it's just risk involved, because that's just what prison is. You're not going to be able to do anything without somebody knowing it. And when they know it, then you run the risk of somebody telling on you at any moment. Any moment, somebody going to drop the dime on you. So you can consider yourself on the clock. If you up there, if you doing, and then the drugs up there was so few and far in between, because like I say, you dealing with racist officers, they not gonna really be bringing them drugs in like talking about, because the nepotism up there was crazy. It was crazy. Everybody up there, some kid to somebody, you know, you got 7 and 8 people there with the same name, 9 and 10 other people with the same name. You know, they get the job there, they get their cousin there, their aunt there, their mama there, everybody. You see what I'm saying? So it would be harder for one of them, even if they wanted to make some money, to bring you some drugs or something, because they be not only scared about getting caught, they scared about, you know, what their family members going to think about them if they do get caught, and then they going to spoil their family name. People going to be looking at them different because, oh, your last name Sprouse, so, oh, your niece was bringing in drugs, so it's going to look at the whole family crazy. So that made it more difficult for them to, you know, talk an officer into bringing something in. So that means that the drugs was scarce on there, so the prices was high, and dudes was, they was getting it in trying to get high, man. Yeah, they was getting it in trying to get high, man. They be rumbling. You know, dudes was getting mad because a dude might had a weed or something like that, and he sold it all. So dudes might be mad because he sold it all. They might want to do something to him, but then they second thought because he the only one that's getting it. So then they go try to, you know, gangster the dude that he sold it to. Oh man, he sold you, man. Let me get, I bought it because I need, man. I'm saying, man, break bread, man. I'm gonna pay you. I give you double what. Dude ain't trying to do it. Dudes was putting in an extortion game. They was putting in an extortion, but they take it. You know, they get to Bethlehem and run up in dude's cell and take the drugs from a dude that just bought the drugs. So it was crazy, mad chaos on there when it came to that drugs and stuff like that. Now, like I say, the wine, which what we call wine, but liquor, when them dudes make that liquor, that's always gonna be a high commodity on there. But it was still harder to make on there because they was doing all them kick-ins. They was kicking in the sales. They had a thing going on where this captain lady, Santiago, she had it whereas they was kicking in 2 sales every night in every block. And she called it random. But like I say, if you in the honor block, it ain't gonna be random, because if you making wine and somebody know you making wine, they gonna tell on you because they don't want the block hot, you know, and they may not drink. So it was no consequences to them. So they may drop a note and tell Santiago, sell such and such got that wine in there. So come nighttime, boom, your sale kicked in. And like I say, with the wine, it take 3, 4, sometimes 6 days to cook. So you got 6 days where you got to be peeking out windows, you got to be keeping the smell down, you got to be on alert at all times, you know, ready to, if you see the people come in, bust the bag, cut it open, try to flush it before they cut the water off or before they get up to your cell. But even when they do, if they get up there and they find the residue, they find the bag, you going to jail anyway, but it's going to be a lesser charge because they ain't actually got the wine. But if they get the wine, then that's a whole different charge. You know what I'm saying? So it was just chaos up there, man. And I was just so glad in my mind that I wasn't going to be there long. And I was also just reminiscing in my mind how far I had already came in my bit. You know what I'm saying? How far I had already, you know, evolved from all of this craziness. and the craziness was still to come. It was still to come, down the line on other institutions. But right here was like me returning to some place that I basically started at, and I can see where I was then versus where I'm at now, and it was a major difference. Because a lot of things, like I said, that I wouldn't had a second thought about, snapping about, I was, now more mature, and I was able to, curtail my anger to a certain degree. Because just like the warden calling me in there and talking to me the way he did, man, when I first started off my bit, man, I was going to jail that day. I would have gone to jail because he was inside talking to me like that. I would have been cussing. I would have been negative. They probably would have had to get the tussling with me in there and send me on to jail. But that's just how it would have been because, like I say, I was in the stage of my bit then that these dudes are in now, trying to let it be known what I was going to go for, what I won't going to go for. Because everything that you do in prison, they got to make an incident report. They're going to make an incident report, and that's going to go in your file. So when they try to handle you or do something to you that you don't agree with and you buck, and you say you ain't going for it, and whatever comes behind that, fighting the police, getting chained down, getting locked up, getting the dog sicked on you, getting the shock shield put on you, they did all of that. Whatever you had to go through, they gonna inventory that in your file, and they gonna let it be known that this is what we had to do, this is what happened, and this is why it did happen. Inmate such and such, refused to do this. Inmate such and such, said something, and they gonna have that. So that's gonna be what they look at when they dealing with you. So you have to set the tone and let them know, look, okay, I'm a human being, and you gonna treat me as a human being, and if you don't treat me as a human being, then I'm gonna act unhuman. It's simple as that. Because they treat you unhuman, man. Augusta was mean in the day, man. I'm telling you, like I say, they was chaining you down, and then that stuff turned around later on to be deemed unconstitutional or inhumane or cruel and unusual punishment. They would chain you down for 72 hours, chained to a steel bed, buck naked, both wrists chained, both legs chained. When they come in there a couple of hours a day, they let you up for a couple of minutes to use the bathroom with 4 or 5 officers standing around you while you use the bathroom, whether you had to do the number 1 or number 2, and you had to keep your shackles on. They would only take your arms loose. So then they bring your food in there, and they would bring your food in a bag meal, and when they bring you the food in a bag meal, they would only unloose one arm, and you sitting up here to the side trying to eat your food with one arm chained down and 2 legs chained down, and you naked laying on the bed. Come on, man, that ain't even human. This is the stuff they was doing when I was there the first time, and they were still doing it when I was there this time. So like I say, those things later on in years got into court and was deemed unconstitutional. They weren't even supposed to be doing it, but nobody got compensated for that. Nobody who went through that got compensated for that. I went through it. I ain't never get compensated, So, like I say, they can do what they want to do to you when you in there, man, because your life is in their hands. And it's your job not to put yourself in that position by not even going to prison. Because once you get in there, your voice is unheard. Ain't nobody trying to hear no complaints, because you'll have the masses believing that these people is in there and they so professional and they doing what they supposed to do and they treating you the way you should be treated because you broke the law. That is totally untrue. Totally untrue. I don't care what law you broke, you still a human being, and you still should be afforded to be treated humanly, and you not sent there to be punished. You sent there to be corrected. It's called a correctional institution. You sent there to be corrected for your wrongs and pay a debt to society for what you did wrong. Not to be punished, not to be abused, not to be beat, not to be treated like you is not a human. And man, so, like I said, I did a whole lot of self-reflection in the little time I was there. I believe I won't even there. I can't say for sure, but I know for a fact it won't no more than 2 months. It won't no more than 2 months. They was opening up Sussex 2. They still had DC inmates there. They was shipping them out, according to what I heard. They was shipping them out 30, 40 at a time, clearing up space, and they was bringing in 30 and 40 at a time from other institutions, filling up the space. When they got a whole block empty, they would bring them in 30 at a time and fill up a block, and so on and so forth, till they got all of the DC inmates up out of there. So Boom. And like I say, I was just in there. I was in my own zone. They come hit me one day, tell me pack up. I said, what's up? I'm getting moved again. They said, yeah, now you're getting transferred. You know what I'm saying? So, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I was glad to get from up over there because I didn't know what they had in store for me. I didn't know if they was going to set me up. I didn't know if they was going to lie on me. All that has been done before. So I was, you know, on eggshells the whole time I was there. And to get that news that I was leaving, I didn't really care where I was going as long as I was leaving from up there, and especially if I was getting from out of the mountains. But like I say, they don't really tell you where you're going. You ain't going to really find out till you get on the bus and you just overheard a little whispering of what the police saying or where the bus going or whatever. But a lot of dudes was getting on the bus and they was telling me that, you know, this is everybody on here going to Sussex 2. You know, they opening up Sussex 2. They shipping dudes to Sussex 2. So here I am again going to a whole new institution to help open up an institution where the officers is going to be new. You're going to be dealing with new attitudes, new person. All of this getting ready to start all over again. But at the same time, it was bittersweet because, you know, I'm grateful to leave here, but I know what I'm getting ready to go back into. And little did I know, these people was off the chain as well, you know, because they knew and they trying to, you know, assert their authority on you. They trying to let you know we run this institution. We gonna run this institution, and you need to know this off the rip, off the top. And that's how they was carrying it, man. But yeah, I didn't even stay on Augusta this time, man. My second trip, more than 2 months, and they got me up off of there, and it was a blessing. I wish I never went there. You know, it wasn't a whole lot of things going on there the time that I was there. It was a lot going on, but just not in that little frame amount of time that I was there, except for the things I told y'all about. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. You know, it depends on, you know, what I remember. But I'm just thinking back in my time there, the main thing that popped in my mind was I knew I had to deal with this warden and whatever officer that was there who didn't like me. You know what I'm saying? So that was my experience on there the second time. I appreciate y'all taking this ride with me. Next stop, Sussex 2. A great adventure on there, crazy adventure. So y'all stay tuned, man. I'm looking at dropping some other videos in between some of these. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. But I want to revisit some of these characters, why they fresh in my mind that I've told y'all from these different institutions, and you know, drop some stories on y'all about them. I know y'all have requested that y'all want to hear from some of them, so I'm on top of it, man. I'm working. I'm trying to get y'all this content. I appreciate the love. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. And like I always say, man, there is a blessing in every lesson, man. And the blessing in this lesson was that I learned that I had evolved. I sit back and I watch myself and I looked at my actions and I reflected back from when I was there the first time, and I could see, you know what I'm saying, the involvement in myself. And I was proud of myself for that because, like I say, I knew I still had time to do, and I knew I had to try to do the best for myself to make this time as smooth as possible. If any drama come to me, if any craziness come to me, then I handle it emphatically. But I didn't want to bring more drama upon myself by my actions or my reactions to what other people said to me or other people trying to antagonize me, be it an officer or be it, you know, a convict. So, you know, that was the blessing, man, that I got up over there unscathed. I didn't get crossed up. You know, I didn't get in no incidents up there. So I was happy to get from up there, man. And it was on to the next adventure in this crazy, crazy life that I was living. So y'all keep on riding with me, man. Y'all like these videos, share these videos, man. Pass them around, man. Comment, subscribe, you know, and share these videos with somebody, man, that might need to hear these lessons and these blessings, man, within these stories. I appreciate y'all out there. TVP, as always, be safe, be smart, make good decisions. And y'all already know, man, you got to watch out for the hook. Boom!
The bacon special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality. you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.